Hello to all of you Facebook Live people. So welcome to Wednesdays Live with Evie. This is number 9 or 10, I'm not sure. So today we're talking about why systems are important in your business and how to set them up. So give me 1 second while I share this around so more people are here. In the meantime, today I discovered a system that I need. I was running around prior to this because normally I print out my notes and get everything set up about 10 minutes before going live. And what I found when I went to do that today at 10 till is that my page wasn't printing out correctly. It was printing out this size as opposed to this size. Do you see that? And the other problem I was having was, or the other problem I had is I use a little light so that I'm not as, I don't know, washed out maybe is the right word. And the problem I had was apparently the light had hit something in the drawer I keep it in and turned itself on, and the battery was not working. So it wasn't very bright. So then I was running around trying to find batteries for that. I had to print out my notes 3 times before I figured out what was happening. And that meant 2 minutes before I was going to sit down here and start this, I was feeling a little exhausted, a little warm. My office is on the 2nd floor. The printer is in the basement. So I ran up and down 2 flights of stairs about 4 times before I figured out what was going on. So that was exciting. So for me, apparently one system that I could use is after I do the Facebook Lives, taking the batteries out of the light so that it doesn't accidentally get hit when I'm opening the drawer and looking for something else and turn on and I not notice it. And 2, maybe an hour or a half hour before, print out my notes so that I have them and I don't have to worry about running around if they don't print right. So, yes. So that was my fun there. I'm going to share this one more place. Da-da-da. So, and that's actually one of the ways that you can notice where you need systems is when things that normally work all right, if there is a hitch in your giddy up, so to speak, then you'll notice that, okay, that's something maybe I should create a system around so I'm not caught off guard. So hey to Lisa, watching from Denver. She used to be local here, and that's how I met her, but she's in Denver now, so hello to Lisa. So, I realized I didn't actually introduce myself. I know Lisa knows who I am, but my name is Evie Burke. I am the success coach and mindset mentor at One Insight Closer, and I help entrepreneurs who struggle with productivity and focus take their productivity to a new level. So one of the ways that you can do that is by setting up systems in your business. So for those of you who are on live, I know that there's at least a couple of you. I'd be interested in knowing what was your motivation for joining me today, and what would you like from today's Wednesdays Live with Evie. Share that, and after I finish the next section, I'll come back to those and we'll touch on those things. So, one of the things I did to prepare for this live, Facebook Live, was I looked up the definition of system. So, the definition of system is a set of principles or procedures according to which something is done, an organized method. Okay? And then in my Googling, one of the things that I found was there's a site called businessdictionary.com. I did not know that existed. So the definition there of systems is a set of detailed methods, procedures, and routines created to carry out a specific activity, to perform a duty or solve a problem. And Lisa mentioned that she's starting a new business, and I know what Lisa's looking to do is be, I believe, a virtual assistant, right, Lisa, and helping people with some of their, you said it here, the back office support, so some of the things that they need help with that they're looking to outsource that somebody else can do. And I know if people already have these systems outlined and you're ready to work with somebody like Lisa, having everything outlined so you can tell her this is exactly how I want things done, that's going to make her life so much more easier, and as a result, it'll make your life so much more easier because you've said to Lisa or whoever you've hired for this, hey, this is what I need and this is how I do it, and she can hit the ground running rather than having to go back and forth a lot with figuring out how you want something done or how you do it in the past. So, what else was I going to say? Oh, so what you probably already have are some systems in your business. They're just maybe not streamlined. One of the things I said in my newsletter on Monday was you probably have systems around around everything in your life, right? So things like when the dishwasher is full, you empty it and then you put the dirty dishes in the dishwasher. That's a system, right? It's a very basic system, but it works, right? Because then you don't have dirty dishes piling up all over the place, and they're where they need to be. It saves some time. And I know, sometimes that system works better than others. I know when I was not feeling well last week, the dishes kind of piled up because I usually am the one that's unloading the dishwasher about 75% of the time. Not all the time. Nate's pretty good about emptying it too, but it just was something that wasn't happening. And the dishes piled up a little bit. Nate did fix that and take care of that for me after a couple of days. So those are systems, right? So why do you want a system? Why are these important to your business? So they're important because, if you think about working with clients and you're starting with a new client and you have things that you send your clients when you start working with them, contracts, questionnaires, whatever that is. Instead of searching for the last person that you started to work with so you can, copy and paste, that information, if you have a system set up, it makes it really easy because this is where I go to find the information that I need to send to that person. So that's a system. Yes, searching for the email is a system, but if you have it streamlined to where it's all in one spot, it makes it so much easier. So it saves you time because you're not searching emails, you know exactly where to look. And it means that there's more of a uniformity in how you onboard clients because you have all of the steps listed out, right? So, and again, if you hire somebody in the future to take care of that, to send out those welcome emails or the whatever you do to onboard a client, if you're hiring somebody like Lisa or someone else to send those emails in the future, if you have all of those steps listed out, it's really easy to hand that over to somebody else to do, right? So it also means you don't have to, when you have these systems, you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. You know what you're going to do. Again, it's uniform, and you have that documented system, and it saves you time and money. So last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, I talked about the bag of marbles. And if you think about the bag of marbles being how much energy you have throughout the day to do things, and there are certain things or tasks or events that take marbles out of there, takes energy out of that bag. there's also those tasks that put marbles in it, right? So when you have these systems in place, what it does is it leaves you more marbles in your bag. It leaves you more energy to go on and do other things. So that can be really helpful when we have a business, because there is such a thing as decision fatigue, where you make so many decisions and at the end of the day you're like, what's for dinner? I don't know what's for dinner. I don't want to make any more decisions. Somebody else decide what's for dinner. And when you have some of these systems in place where you're not making decisions about, okay, what needs to happen next, it makes that so much easier for you it makes it so much easier for you to have more energy at the end of your day, is what I'm trying to say. So, Lisa talked about, she's starting a business, and she's had businesses before. I met her in one of her previous businesses, so she knows some of those things that she needs to do. But whether you're starting a business or you have a business that you've been working on for a while, there might be systems that you haven't implemented yet. And one of them that I already talked about was, onboarding new clients. What does that look like? What's that process for you? Another thing might be networking. What's your system, or what's your process for networking and reaching out to people, or even deciding which networking events you want to go to, or how you want to handle setting up one-on-ones with people to get to know them. What's that criteria? What are your systems around that? Or your systems for staying in touch with the people that you meet. Another thing is, and this is the thing I talked about a little bit on Monday, is when you're having a meeting with somebody who's thinking about being a client, and you're going to have a conversation about whether it's a good fit or not, and finding out what they're looking for. What's your system around that? What are the things you want to know about that person prior to going into that meeting? What questions are you going to ask in that meeting? What do you need to know in the meeting to help both of you make that decision, right? So those are things that you can create systems for. So systems, Lisa says she wants to work with creatives. Okay. So systems are actions. You can create system around actions or tasks that you do on a regular basis in your business, and you want to streamline them. You want to make them clearer for yourself, and just have that documented process. So when you're creating a system, what you want to do is, first of all, decide what you're going to create a system around, and then write down everything that you do in that process. So if it's a newsletter, writing down the steps that you go through every single time to send out that newsletter, or the things that you would like to do. So maybe as you're going through and you're writing down the steps that you take, you're taking some time to also look at what can change here. What would I like to be doing? How would this experience work better for me? And once you have that list written down, put it somewhere that's really easy to find. This is going to be different for different people. I like to use OneNote, and I have a lot of things in OneNote. Some people use Evernote. Other people use Word documents. Some people like paper and writing them all out. Some of my systems are in my CRM, so I have emails saved in there that, when a new client starts, I have an email draft that has the attachments on it already that, I just make any personalizations in there that I need, and it goes out. So what are those things for you, and how would it work easier for you? I'm just checking on this here. And one of the other things about systems that I think sometimes people forget is you want to check back in with them. You want to every once in a while look at, okay, what's still working for this system, what's not, and you want to update it as necessary. Which brings me to one of the questions that Mary pointed out is, what do you do if your system changes and it's not your fault? Like, specific example, one of the things I do every Monday is I write down some of my statistics. So I track my website, views and things like that. I track how many likes I have on my Facebook page, things like that I go through and I write down so I can look occasionally and I can see, okay, I really had a lot of people checking out my website this day, what was going on, or that week, what was going on, and I can notice trends and I can make sure that the trends are going the direction I want, which is up, right? So one of the things that I do is on LinkedIn, I go and I check to see how many people have viewed my profile. And I don't spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, so if I have, one or two, then I figure, hey, that's pretty good. And LinkedIn used to have a nice little graph that would show you, the number of people that had looked at your profile each week. And so you could easily see where the jumps were. And then underneath it would say, a little bit about who those people were that looked at your Facebook page. Or not Facebook, your LinkedIn page. And LinkedIn just did a massive update to how their site looks, and they took away that graph. I couldn't find it. I even reached out to my friend Mary Wu, who is a LinkedIn expert, and I said, hey, I can't find it. Do you know where it went? And she said, yeah, I think it went away. And I went, huh. Well then, so my system had to change, right? I needed to change how I got that information, which I did. So that's where you need to kind of roll with the punches and look at, maybe is there another way you can get that data? And there was. I can go through and I can manually count, because it still says who checked your profile or who looked at your profile and gives you, was it 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 days ago, things like that. And so I can do that and I can manually count it, which isn't ideal, but that's my workaround. So sometimes you have to roll with the punches and you have to decide, is it worth finding another way to do this, or is it time to switch out what I'm doing? Let's see. Mary says, one of the things on my overall newsletter list, let's see. Oh, yes. So Mary says that one of the things on her newsletter list system is to check every link. Yes. It's so funny that you say that, because I just saw somebody complaining about those things in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, where she said, if I get another email that says, oh wait, here's the corrected link, sorry about that, she says, I'm going to scream. You can fix that by sending a test email to yourself and checking all the links, right? So yes, Mary, as a social media person, is somebody who sends out newsletters for people, puts them together for people once they send her all the pieces of it. That's one of the things she does, is she looks and she says, hey, which links are working and which ones aren't, or are going to places I don't want them to go. So yes, that's definitely part of a system that you have. I think Lisa said something else. Let's see if I can find it. Lisa, you said you wanted to work with creatives. Do you have a specific question or thought around that? Or is it just that's what you're sharing, is your ideal client is you want to work with creatives? And, that's great. That's fabulous. I'm excited for you with this new round that's happening for you, this new business. So it's super exciting. What was the other thing I want? Oh, so for the couple of you that are on, what's a system that you wish you had in your business? If there's, you want to work with designers, Lisa? Anyway, for those of you that are here live, what's a system that you wish you had? if you're up for it, we can talk about how that might look. You can share maybe how you see it going, what you see might be in that system, and we can flesh it out a bit. And if you're not interested in that, that's fine too. Lisa says, so the people that she wants to work with are on the creative side and she wants to be there to keep their business organized. Yes. Yes, I could see that that would definitely be a value add for people. I know a woman that was in a group that I used to belong to. She is an idea person. She's very creative. And she needed people like Lisa in her business to, yes, to keep them on task. Exactly. Because she was coming up with new ideas all the time and things to try, and she needed those people there to rein her in and say, hey, that's a great idea. Let's finish this great idea you had last week first, right? So yeah, that's super valuable when you have somebody that can keep you on task and make sure that things are moving in your business the way that you want them to. Right, keep the back end organized. Absolutely. So I'm guessing, Lisa, one of the things you might be doing with people and keeping their business organized is helping them come up with some of those systems and working some of those systems for them. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I could definitely see that that would be value add for them. So if there's, let's see, let's make sure I didn't forget anything here. So again, just a quick, yeah, Lisa, okay, yep. So again, just a quick rundown. Systems are things that, you know, from the business dictionary, I really like that definition. Businesses are a set of principles or procedures. Nope, that's the wrong definition. This is the one I'm looking for. System is a set of detailed methods, procedures, and routines created to carry out a specific activity, perform, a duty, or solve a problem. And again, you probably have systems in your business. They just might not be streamlined or documented. So if you take that time to document them and keep it in a place that you'll remember where it is and you'll check, then that can save you a lot of time, and just it'll help your business run more smoothly. And when your business runs smoothly and you're able to create a customer experience that is purposeful, then that's really important. You know, if you can be intentional about how you want your clients to be treated, and create a system around that and how you're going to treat them, and even how you want to be treated, because sometimes when we're creating those systems, we're setting the bar. So if you can set that bar high and say, you know, this is what I expect, then that helps weed out the people that maybe aren't the best fit for you. So those are benefits. Those are some of the benefits of having systems. So, thank you everybody for being here live. And I will be back next week, again on Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central Time with a new topic. And if you have anything that you would really like me to cover in one of these, let me know, whether it's a comment on this Facebook Live or over in the group or a private message. You know, reach out, let me know, and I'll cover it for you. I'll do a little mini training on it. That's kind of a little bit what these are. So I will see you next week. And until then, much love and have a fabulous week, everybody. Bye.